Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 between Byun and Shin, with Byun opening up with a double barracks Reaper opener, while Shin opens up with a hatch first. The golden standard of Byun Terran versus Zerg. Which I guess is not really how a golden standard works, but it is how it works in this case. It's gonna open up with a couple of Reapers, 3 Reapers this time around, fast factory behind this as well, and potentially a 2-on-1 or a Banshee follow-up. Shin, meanwhile, I've seen him do this before, likes playing High Queen against this type of style, and then following it up with a relatively fast layer. Roach is a possibility. He is going into Link Speed. Byun does find a hole in his defense though. Oi, 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 oi. A little bit of indirect damage here. Well, quite a decent amount of indirect damage. Loses 1 Reaper for that drive-by. Kills no drones. The first factory is now about to finish up, and we'll see what the plans will be for Byun, as he throws on a 3rd CC behind this as well. Shin is about to get the 100 gas that we were told about by the prophecy. So I'm expecting a layer post 3rd base here. There we go. 341, that is insanely fast. The standard layer timing usually comes down at around, what should we call it? 4 minutes and 30 seconds. We've seen it go down to like 450 as well. This is really freaking fast. We also see a last second cancel here on the speed, which is not super surprising because there's currently 0 links out on the map. Fast Roach Warren instead as a follow-up. So it's going to be a Roach defense. And I am fully expecting Infestation Pit into an Ultra Rush. This is something that Shin has been doing for a while now. I freaking love watching these Ultra Rushes out of him. He seems very, very secure with them. And a lot of players struggle against it because there are really fast Infestors out. So Infestor Roach is a great way of dealing with drops. It's very scary for Terran players to move on creep or to do anything aggressive the moment Infestors are out. Because the Infestor is the only unit that Terran has that can stop a Marine lift from happening. If you can stop a Marine lift from happening, usually you're kind of cooking. Lair has now finished up, and I'm really expecting a quick rush into that Infestation Pit. Perhaps not instantly, but 5 minutes and 25 seconds or so. I'm expecting the Infestation Pit to hit the map here. We have loads of gas in the bank as well. Overseer starts defensively, making sure he won't die against anything weird. So we're going to have a Banshee Marine Reaper move out. I am not at all familiar with this. I think this Banshee, I don't actually know what it is being used for. Is this just a spotter? This is such an odd playstyle, as we do get our Infestation Pit down behind this. Are you trying to force out spores? Okay, we have spores already, so don't need to do that, I guess. Gonna deny a little bit of creep. Maybe trying to lull his opponent into a fake sense of security. We see this sometimes where, like the Banshee is an harassment unit, right? So as a Zerg player, you look at that and think to yourself, maybe an extra queen and some drones would be a viable solution to this. But for now, Shin's actually just building a lot of roaches because he seems to be aware that this is going to be a double medevac follow-up. Queen in the main base is going to take care of this Banshee. And the only Banshee that Byun built this game achieved nothing but providing some high ground vision here to kill an Overlord. As the Marines and medevacs join up at the front, we have 15 roaches out, 4 queens, Infestation Pit done, and the first 2 Infestors on the way. And we're going to rapidly tech into Hive behind this as well. I'm expecting right about now a little bit of attack into Hive. 5 Ravagers coming in. That is a surprising amount, actually. That is a very surprising amount of Ravagers. Usually you only want Ravagers if you're expecting a tank push. So Shin probably is expecting some type of tank push. Byun is too chickeny here to even move further forward. It's gonna move onto creep right now. Get a stim in here. Should be a cancel onto this fort. There we go. Does get the cancel on the fort. Gets a pickup. Lose a couple of Marines. Hive behind this. Combat shield behind this. And the first 2 Infestors have now hit the field. And that makes any future unloads, any future attacks, significantly harder to execute here for Byun, who does have a 3rd base already on location. Quite far forward, by the way, may I add. As he adds in Reactor Tech Lab. So wants to start adding in Marauders as soon as he can. Meanwhile, we have continued Ravager production here out of our boy as well. One Ravager goes down as 3 Marines end up falling. I think that's a worthwhile trade here for the Terran player. Ravagers are quite gas heavy. You can deny some gas, that's usually good. So we see a split of fungal boys moving towards the bottom side. Majority of the army staying on the top though. Single Ling here. This is just making sure that he cannot be surprised by like a massive army moving over here while he has a lot of crap on the right side. Really neat kind of pre-split here. Byun's still trying to do something, but Ultra Cavern comes out. That's 7 minutes and 46 seconds, I think it was, on that Ultralisk Cavern. Which is fairly fast. It's not the quickest thing I've seen in my life, but so far, if you take a look at the resources lost, hardly anything has died. Hardly anything has happened in this game. 3 Overlords, a Ravager, a Banshee, 3 Reapers, and 5 Marines have gone down so far. And Byun seems to be kind of okay with sitting back and doing nothing for extended periods of time. Still gets a pretty late fort base as well. So I guess the main plan is going to be to hit with a 1-1 timing. Except 2-2 has already started. We have a fort base on the way. A second factory as well. Drilling claws. This is going to be quite a committed push. Because if you lose all of your tanks, that freaking sucks. But it's not a push that is committed in the resource way. It is committed as in all the key units are here, but it's not committed with his entire economy behind this. Like he's still trying to play a macro game behind all of this. Just wants to hit pre-ultra, I guess. He's getting massively fungled here on top of his face. At the same time, we have a double drop here behind the fort as well, where there's no units remaining. So this is going to get cleaned up fairly easily. Every single tank is going to end up falling. This marine drop will kill an extractor. Great job denying one of the gases. Sadly, it won't help against the 6 ultras about to pop out. This is not great. This is not what you want as a Terran player. Losing all of your tanks, like that is kind of your long-term investment. To get a single extractor and 4 drones, which is easily replaceable. The problem with tanks is that not only are they expensive, they also take a long time to build. You're kind of always building, you know, on top of the foundation of like 2-3 tanks, and then you add a couple more, and then in the end you have 8-9 tanks. You can start adding in your ghosts, your other crap. If you lose your tank, your defensive positions are going to be weaker. Your potential for attacks becomes much lower. And we see Shin just up freaking 40, 50, 60 supply. 62 supply right now. Byun is adding in bunkers. The moment you see a Terran defensively adding bunkers 10 minutes into the game, it either means he's so far ahead that he's afraid of dying, or he's so far behind that he's afraid of dying. One of these situations is good. The good situation is not what we're in currently, is we're going to go for a triple drop towards the far left side. This actually has some potential, by the way. So, Chitinous is about to finish up. Defensively, we have a couple of Marauders. We have the triple bunkers. These 3 medevacs actually need to start doing some serious crap here. Because if they don't, I think Byun's going to be in some real trouble. Okay, we get the unload right into the links. Adrenal Glands is available, and that makes this push a little bit weaker than it should be. Still going to be good enough, although 21 workers going down on the side of Byun as well. Fort base at the same time under heavy fire is going to end up falling. There's a 5th going up here as well, though, as this planetary is still active right now, but in a couple of seconds from now, after these ultras are done with it, I don't think this planetary is going to be around for much longer. Links coming in, Banelings being morphed as well. GG gets called as Shin with a fast ultra rush is going to take game number 1. Yeah, this is the classic Byun setup. Lose game 1 with Reapers, play CC first in game number 2. Game 3, play Reapers again. It's going to be my general prediction. However, we'll only get a game 3 if he wins the CC first game, which I still need to see happen. Barracks behind this. Shin has been playing this this style for quite a while now, and it's powerful. It's pretty tight. Like if you lose 5-6 drones at any point because you're working off such a low eco, it can feel really bad. Like you're kind of relying on your ultralist to provide a lot of safety, and that safety gets you into then the higher drone counts afterward. But you're getting into ultras at a pretty low worker count, and you need to hold a lot of pushes, a lot of harassment initially that can be quite difficult to deal with. And we saw Byun kind of go for a non-committed tank timing, completely falling flat and then just dying to the counterattack. And this is something that commonly happens as well. don't quite love what he did there. I really am not a fan of it. It always feels like if you're playing against these ultra rush builds, is that if you want to commit into a push, you really need to send everything. You know, you probably just want to go for like some type of 8 racks and see if you can hit before ultras. Hit a very committed 5 racks with tanks as well. It feels like if you do like one of these half-assed attempts like we just saw Byun do, then you're going to get half-assed results as well, and that you'll lose all of your tanks and then you die to the ultra counterattack. You can also kind of rush into the late game against this, so you give your opponent a bit more freedom. You defend, you expand quickly, you might even cut some Marines out in the mid game, because Marines are just not going to be that useful against Ultras. If you cut Marines, you can get faster CCs, you can get faster barracks, etc, etc. It feels bad to do that as a Terran, but basically what you can do against this style is you just have 4 medevacs that you fill up with Marines, and then you fully cut Marine production. You go straight into Marauders, straight into extra CCs, straight into that high barracks count, double factory, and then you're kind of cooking, you're controlling the pace of creep spread, and that's all you're gonna be doing. So it's a very different type of game that you're playing. It's not what Byun wanted to do, but we saw the outcome of what he wanted to do, and that was a big fat L. Behind all of this, we have Shin going for, I don't know what the hell this is, but he's going up to really quick gas once more. Oh wait, this is a gasless opener, never mind. I was like, man, this is fast gas, but it's all in his natural. There's nothing in the main base quite yet. So gasless start. Probably wants to try walling this general area. Maybe with a rotor. No, he's gonna go over here. I guess walling this sucks, because then there's gonna be some tank positions that will be tough to deal with. This map is freaking crazy though when it comes to defending the first 4 bases. Feels fairly easy. I guess that's why Byun isn't really testing his opponent right now. 2-1-1 into a tank attack is what I'm feeling here, and we're kind of waiting to see what this is gonna turn into. So this could be done with a 3rd CC at some point being added in. Byun has been very keen on skipping 3rd CCs and just going for 2 base follow-ups as well, so something to keep in mind. See this guy, he's gonna build a depot, I think. Oh, he's just patrolling in case of a nidus. Wow, what a safe gamer he is. Mine comes up behind this. It is going to be a CC, isn't it? He has a lot of cash in the bank. Show us what you got, buddy. Two medevacs boost across. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Our first round of units starts on the side of Shin. There we go. 3rd CC goes down. Mines behind this. We have 6 queens out. 2 roaches as well. So Byun's gonna walk in here. If he stims very aggressively forward, I think he probably could have killed quite a bit. Luckily for Shin, that is not what happened. Shin now is trying to collect as many roaches as humanly possible. So Byun kills a couple of creep tumors. Follows this up with a double eBay. Tech lab on the factory. And another drop heading over. Oh, this is almost like the old school 3 medevac combat shield timing. This used to be very common of a barracks first back in the day, where your main timing isn't with the initial 2 medevacs, your main timing is with the 3 medevacs when the combat shield finishes up. And you have 24 Marines, they have stim, they have combat, they have decent healing, no +1. If your opponent doesn't have enough units, you can often take a pretty decent fight, as it seems to me like Shin wants to ideally start taking a 3rd base at some point. Shin is aware of the fact that there is a 4th base. Shin is aware of the fact there's a 3rd for his opponent. Here goes Byun. He's going to snipe 1 roach, 2 roach, 3 roach, 4 roach. Ravagers as well. Loses a couple of Marines and goes for a drop into the main base. Yes, Byun has a second game that he loves, and that is ping pong. Ping-ponging from the main into the natural. Back and forth, from the main into the 3rd in this case. He's going to pick up and drop once more. There is no spore available here whatsoever. And this is such a tough base to hold. So, well, the Evo Chamber is actually in a bit of trouble. He's probably going to get targeted down. Ooh, Byun is going to get it down. Goes for the pickup. Loses practically all of his Marines, except for 7 of them. So 20... No, I'm an idiot. 24 minus 7 is 17? 17 Marines go down. Is that correct? Yeah, there you go. The numbers check out. This hive is once again very quick. I'm not a fan of it in this in this particular game. It feels like it's not going to hit quite as hard for whatever reason. Like, we don't have the infestation pit either. Byun is playing, look at that fort timing. Last game he got a fort at like 8 minutes and 10 seconds. This time it is at 7 minutes flat. Boom. Fat timing here for our good friend Byun, who's not going to be wasting another second. As this +1 also finishes up, Fester's on the way. And this is starting to look pretty decent here for Shin supply-wise. I still like this a lot for Byun though. Like, I really do like this more. He has 2 barracks that aren't really doing much. I wouldn't mind if he completely stops marine production right now. And just adds in a couple of marauders, a factory, and then the 3 extra barracks. I think it wouldn't be a bad call here at all. Okay, he's at least adding in the marauders right now, which I'm a huge fan of. Like, his opponent is going to be pretty secure here at this moment. I don't really see a way to actively attack into this. Byun feels different. He's going to be moving over towards the right, while his fort base flies over to the left. Shin could potentially go in with a Ling run by. That was if he decided to do that, but seems to be okay with just staying at home. Single drop on the left side is going to clear a little bit of creep. The tanks are now going to sit up. Oh, there comes a fungal, and that is the end of that army. And that is the absolute... Oh my god. Well, that went god-awful. That actually did go freaking god-awful. This is one of the worst outcomes. One of the absolute worst outcomes there. Kaiten is plating now on the way. Fort base is going to set up shop over here as well. Meanwhile, Shin takes a 5th. Like, this is twice in a row now where Byun moves on the map into Roach Infestor and is highly unsuccessful with it as well. So I don't know what to tell you guys in this case, except that sucked. Like, it wasn't good. It really wasn't. Can I get some dropper lords? I wonder if we're gonna see actual ultralist drops. I think ultra drops are underrated because no one rates them. I don't think it is super good, but people always call stuff underrated when it's actually good, and they'll call stuff overrated. Actually, the overrated is usually used correctly, but that is usually because if something is very popular, like if 500,000 people like a certain song, it probably is going to be overrated, just because so many people think it is very good. You know, it is, and the main reason is probably because they haven't been exposed to too many different songs. Like if they're gonna listen to 10 songs total, then it's possible they all pick the same one. But if they listen to 500,000 songs total, the opinions are probably going to be way more divided over what their favorite one is. So in that way, you could say that, you know, a popular song is always going to be overrated. I think usually when people say something is underrated, what they actually mean is they think it's very good. Well, I don't think ultralist drops are very good, but I do believe that they're underrated. I think there are some niche scenarios in which they are okay. And I don't think we see them enough. Also because they're freaking cool. But even at like a high level, I think there is some value to them sometimes, especially when there's high marine counts out. I really do believe it to be quite okay in that case. This is a god-awful fight here for Shin. What the hell is that? This roach drop. And roach drops are correctly rated. No one likes them. No one does them. It's because they freaking suck. Like, the roach in small numbers actually beats no one. Like, the Zerg has managed to craft the perfect unit that doesn't do anything. Like, once you get past, like, the 8-minute mark. Like, the roaches... Whenever I see roaches past 8 minutes, I always want to keep them alive because it's wasting their supply. So this is a terrible fight as well for Shin, it feels like. Bands are just kind of rolling around. Still have a massive army to deal with these roaches. If Byun knew that there were roaches in here, I don't think he would leave anything at home. Built like 2 turrets, like whatever. My reinforcements will deal with this. Okay, he scans it one more time. He's like, oh my god. But there's ultras in there. I've heard they're underrated. That's what I've heard in the Harstem podcast. He wrote it down in his notebook. It's like, oof. Ultra drops. Next thing to look out for. This is a decent mine count. So, we've now kind of transitioned into a proper mid game. Even the start of a late game, we could call it. Here comes the roach drop. Oh, the overlords go in and they die. Great little bait here out of Byun. He is using a lot of resources to deal with this crap, though. We're now going to get a roach drop onto the planetary. This I've got to see. A phenomenal move. I've never seen roaches flank a planetary before. It's actually going to work out as well. Not sure how much the roaches contributed. I feel like the 45 banelings were, you know, moved the needle a little bit more, but don't want to undersell what the roaches achieved there. We could maybe get a little bit of a burrow of some of these banes. I believe we have it. Oh, look at that. Poof. No poof. Could unburrow them now. Not what we're going to see. A couple more snipes coming down. The marauder count is fairly high. The ultra count is non-existent. What a weird fight this has been. You flank a planetary with some roaches and all of a sudden you're down 15, 20 supply. With everything still being in the eggs, in the larva. And I just don't think there is enough shin here right now to properly fight this back. Good fungal comes in. And a couple of big snipes coming out as well of these ghosts. With one more snipe. Good pickup out of Byun. Fantastic pickup even. This, however, was a great trade. Look at that. 21k to 10k. We could even call this 22k. But then we could also call this 11. So, yeah, make of that what you will. Freaking numbers, huh? Can't live with him. Can't live without him. I feel like you could make a decent case for repairing medevacs. Repairing medevacs is one of these things that people send me emails about. Like, why don't you repair medevacs? Why does no one repair their medevacs? I don't know why. People repair like Hellions in the early game and they'll repair stuff, but medevacs, you just look at them and are like, yeah, I can build some new ones, but that's a freaking expensive unit. Like 100 minerals, 100 gas. You just use one of your freaky SCVs to drill it a little bit. It comes back to full health. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Can I get a decent baning run by here? No sensor tower out quite yet. Luckily for Byun, he can smell Zerg players a mile away. You could say it's because Byun has a good nose. I think it's because Zerg players smell bad. Ooh, Ultra's gonna get sniped. I don't think this is enough Banes, is it? It is not. 17 SCVs do go down. At the same time, we have an attack through the middle. I wasn't paying attention to it, and neither was Byun, as he seemingly has lost a lot of supply. His army, however, is quite big, and Shin's army is... I mean, it's also big, but not big enough, perhaps. People often say it's not about the size of the wave, but about the flow of the ocean. Well, I think the size of the army does matter in this case, especially his freaking links here. Fighting against marine ghosts. I mean, this is not, you can't do this, right? There's no way. There is it. What did you think was going to happen? Okay, well, he died. And our final map will be played here on a Ruby Rock. A beautiful little map. So we have our third different opener, actually. It's just going to be a standard Reaper opener. Nothing weird out of Byun. No double racks, no triple racks, no 5 racks, no 10 racks. Just a man, a single Reaper, and a dream. Let's take a look when the CC goes down. 138. Yikes. It's bad early game SCV micro, especially because he didn't even scout. That's very sad for him, actually. So, some of the high-level players, the highest level players, when it comes to worker micro, they can get their CC down at like 136, 137. 136 is fast. Like 137 I can do on a good day with my worker splits. So the key is to saturate. So there's a couple of keys. To saturate the close by mineral patches ASAP, pretty much. There's 4 of those. And then there's a little trick where if you right click in front of the mineral patch and then shift click on top of it, it will keep the same speed. It will not go slower. It will not lose its speed. So you can make it go faster. I believe if you do that 8 times accurately, you gain 5 minerals. So if you can do that like 16 times in an early game, that is 10 minerals that you gain, pretty much. And that allows you to build it just a little bit, a twinge faster. And if you have a good split, that is actually super impactful. Good worker splits are one of the biggest, you know, the single biggest impact things you can have in the early game that allow you to throw down CCs and hatcheries and Nexi and cybernetic scores a little bit faster. Actually, for Protoss, if you're going core before Nexus, the main predicting factor is actually when your first pylon goes down, because your gateway is delayed by your pylon and your core is delayed by your gateway. So if your pylon goes down like 16 seconds, which is a very decent time, you're going to have an insanely fast core as well. Which is exactly what you want, obviously. Like, you want freaking fast cores. Fast cores, you are beautiful. Woohoo! Fast cores, you are beautiful. Okay, we have a starboard. It's going to be a Banshee build. Whenever Byun plays this, 86% of the times, it's a very accurate number because it's not nice rounded to a 5, he goes without cloak. Let's see if this is one of the 86 or one of the 14%. Oh, he selected it. That scares the crap out of me. Could also be for a fake cloak, though. I sometimes seen him do that. Come on, show me what you're doing, buddy. Yeah, he's not cloaking. Or is he? Oh! He wanted to fake with interference matrix, then went for the actual cloak. It could still be a cancel. We do not know yet. It is hard to judge. We're gonna see it in 3 seconds once this Overlord dies. Oh my god, it's a game with cloak. He does not play this a whole lot. For whatever reason, Byun prefers going without the cloak. Saves him a little bit of cash, allows the build to flow a little bit more smoothly. And we all love a smooth flow, obviously. Evo chamber coming out here in the natural base. You have a triple hatch here in the line as well. Spore coming in there too. Buff, buff. He has a lot of gas in the bank already. Look at that. Oh my god, he has 250 gas in the bank. King of gas over here. That is an awful nickname. Not sure why anyone would call themselves that. What a terrible nickname for Shin. Good lord. One of the worst. Double eBay coming in. Behind this for Byun. As the King of Gas is slowly but surely going to Carapace, Lair. I'm expecting a Baneling Nest. This is something that Raynor has been doing quite a bit, where he'll go for these Carapace builds as well. Fat Carapace builds. And then follow it up with a like Infestors or Hydra. I've seen both. That is not what Shin is doing here. Shin says, hey, Carapace is fun, but I still want to play a pretty standard game. As these two, I'm not sure how they did get so damaged. Who hurt you, buddy? Who hurt you? Oh, look at that. 2 Banshees coming in right now from the side. Banshee flank. Yeah. That is a Banshee flank. 1 queen is going to go down. 2nd queen is going to be in a little bit of trouble here as well. I think 3 queens might end up falling right now if the Banshee control is good, which it is. It is absolutely fine here. 3 queens go down. This hatchery is going to be in some major trouble as well. Lings are now going to come in, try to deal with it. I think this hatch is toast. Oi, 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 oi. Who's going to eat that toast? Not me. Looks freaking burned. The Hellions still active. Lots of Lings going down as well. So these Hellions don't even get cleared. The Banshees stay alive. They can just go home and get repaired. Byun with a fantastic early game. As long as Byun doesn't accidentally lose all of his units right now, I think he's going to be loving life. Look at that. Kills like another 10 Lings or so, pretty much for free. Does keep the Banshees active here, though. I much would have preferred seeing those sent home. Hydra then coming up behind this, but Byun in a phenomenal spot right now. An absolutely phenomenal spot as he follows this up with the double armories. That is obviously a mistake. He's not gonna go for vehicle plating and vehicle weapons. It's just not what he does. I don't believe it. We can see a fort base pretty soon here out of Byun, by the way. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all. It also wouldn't surprise me if he goes for a very committed 1-1 timing push, which is exactly what he's doing. He's even going to be using the Hellions here in this push. You have a major Ling run by coming on the other side. Banshees need to go home to deal with that. Fort CC is on the way over here. This is not a full wall. as Byun is setting up shop. Did not get combat shield, a blunder of a significant size. A massive blunder. Well, medium-sized blunder. The tanks are in good positions, the halberds are here as well. The fort base is under heavy fire, 8 SCVs go down, 11 SCVs go down, and a couple of marines end up falling here as well. This hatchery in a world of trouble. The marines get pre-split, and I do not believe that there's anything major that Shin can do here. Oi, 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 oi. Fort going down. That is going to be a serious problem here for Shin, who does get a little bit more damage with these run-bys, but is only up 4 workers, and is even in bases against a Terran player. Expecting some Banelings to morph here as well. These Banshees move towards the bottom side. They're going to find this run-by set up. 3 more barracks come in. Combat shield's about to finish up in a couple of seconds from now. Creep has pretty much disappeared. These 2 tumors are going to stay alive for whatever reason. Byun doesn't care enough about them. Yeah, you can live. You get to live, buddy. Don't you worry. Is there a hive yet? No, there's no hive. Okay, so we have a low eco Zerg with garbage tier tech, an awful looking army, and no way to do counterattack damage. Seems fun. Look how these tanks move, by the way. Freaking leapfrogging forward. Pretty large leapfrogs as well. Oh, here comes a Baneling attack. I think the Baneling count isn't high enough. Gonna get a major Hydra Ling Bane thing here towards the top. I wonder if he's actually wanting to commit into this. Seems like Shin is down for it. I think Shin is actually gonna go for pure Hydra Ling Bane right now. Like, he has a really high Baneling count. He has a way to deal with the Banshees as well. Has a fort base up with crappy eco. All that he really needs to do is make sure that his opponent doesn't keep too many tanks alive. There's no drilling claws for the mines, and the mine count is growing, but without drilling claws, if they're not buried, not burrowed in the ground, I don't know. I feel like Hydra Ling Bane could actually be quite effective in that case. Overseer's gonna get built. These Banshees are dealing more damage even now. 4th and 5th. 4th done, 5th on the way. More Marauders coming in as well. I mean, this is starting to look worse and worse here for Shin, who's just going to be setting up for an all-out attack. Gets neither of the Banshees, so that is absolutely fantastic for him as well. You have a couple of Marines there just going to walk into their death. Nice. I love getting chewed on by freaking Zerglings. And here comes an attack. How many Banes do we have right now? We have 41, we're getting 11 more. That means 52. This is not a sieged up army as he starts attacking the rocks. A major Ling flank coming in with the Banelings around as well. Marines, meanwhile, trying to move in into the natural. There's really no siege behind this. No tanks, no nothing. Baneling count is still phenomenal as these Marines are now going to start running into the 3rd base. I wouldn't mind if we go for the natural. The bunch of Overlords and a bunch of drones there. This needs to be lifted up as all these SCVs are going to go down. Marauders being sent in further forward. Depots need to live. Depots need to live. Depots do not live. And that means that the Banelings, well, they didn't need to do it, but they will still blast it down. Meanwhile, this Marine attack is still active. We have 2-2 upgrades against the 1-2 of Shin. Shin with a perfectly executed Hydra Ling Bane all-out attack here onto Ruby Rock as Byun has to tap out. An almost unlosable game. But Byun loses it and Shin takes the series 2-1.